I've had a couple of really interesting things, and that's not common. So if you're going to Italy, don't stress about this. But a couple of foods that I thought were interesting when I first got there is I'd never had octopus before, or squid, and it's pretty, generally speaking, it's pretty much like eating a rubber band of some sort, or it was very chewy. Probably the strangest two foods I ever had actually was both with one family. We had a Christmas dinner, and this family in Piacenza, where I was at that Christmas in 1982, and they invited us over for an authentic Italian meal, and they were a very poor family, but they really went all out for this meal. And I'll never forget, they brought out, there was a big deal. We were there waiting for like about an hour or so, and talking with their family and so forth. And so they brought out this big platter. It's about, it must have been about this big, kind of big oval platter with a big, like a chromed, top on it. And they set it down in the middle of the table, and they were just so excited about sharing this with us missionaries and so forth. And they pulled off the top, and there was this eel. This eel had like a stake going down through its head in the middle, and it was kind of just wrapped around on the platter. And they started just cutting off sections of this eel, and the meat was kind of this weird grayish color. I've never seen anything like it before, and we were like, oh. But we ate it, and actually it ended up being pretty good. But then they also had, as one of the runners up to the dessert thing, they had a cheese thing, and that was really interesting. So they had this platter that came up, had kind of a little stem on it, and then and kind of holding the cheese up, and it had this kind of a net, almost sort of like a woman's nylon almost kind of thing, and they would peel it down, and there's this like a cheese ball sitting there. And I was looking at this cheese ball and going, oh, this looks pretty good, and so forth. It was almost pure white cheese. And then all of a sudden I realized that it looked like it was moving. I was like, what in the world is that? And then I started noticing that there was the cheese ball was actually made up of a ball of little white worms. They're actually little worms, and you could tell because they had two little black eyes, but other than that, they were pure white. And they started crawling off on the sides of the thing, and they were taking a knife and slicing it off and putting it on our plates, and we're like, look at that. The worms are crawling off. I'm like, you're kidding me, right? And they're no, this is great. And we ate it, but it's actually extremely expensive, and there's only a couple of places in Italy now that still even make it, but it's actually Maggot cheese. And they grow these specific flies that they grow for just that cheese, and it's a very controlled, regulated deal, apparently, but that was a pretty interesting deal. So, sometimes as a missionary, you just got to roll with the flow and just enjoy the company. And we tried the stuff. I mean, it actually was pretty good. So, you know what? Try it. You like it.